The Eagles and Sturt.
Oh, Neil, it should be a fantastic game. The Eagles have been fantastic all year. Sturt, do they have enough to really put the pressure on them today? That's the question.
Well, the Eagles captain Gavin Colville, quite a celebration for him this afternoon. At 180 games, he breaks Andrew Rogers' record as the games record holder with the Eagles since they were formed in 1991, and Andrew Rogers caught up with him.
And thanks, Neil. Yes, joining me is Gavin Colville, Eagles captain. Now, Gavin, a long time ago, 1995, as an 18-year-old, pimply-faced, came over from country Victoria. What were your aspirations when you came over to South Australia?
Oh, look, I mean, for me, I don't know if I was pimply-faced, but I just come over. I'd finished in the under-18 competition and wanted to improve my footy. I felt that was the best way to do it, to come over here. I didn't have any particular plans to play for 10 years, but I've enjoyed my time here, and there hasn't been any reason to go home.
Now, knee reconstruction last year, how's that going, and how have you seen your form this year?
Yeah, look, the knee's gone really well. I couldn't be, more happy with the way it's come together, and my form's been okay as well. So, in a team that's going well, after a knee reconstruction to be going like this, I'm really happy.
Thanks very much, Gavin. Thanks for your time today, and good luck in the final.
And Gavin Colville very pumped up there, the captain. He'll have a couple of allies with him today in Nathan Bock and Robert Shirley, back from AFL duties, so they will certainly bolster the Eagles. Now, the past couple of weeks, I've been pumping up the return of tough vice-captain Stephen Hall. Unfortunately, his shoulder hasn't made the trip today. He's no good, so maybe next week we'll see him, Neil.
Thanks for that, Sodas. And you mentioned Bock and Shirley, good additions, but also good because they're not just AFL players, they're Eagles players.
They are, and that makes a huge difference to any team in the SANFL, and especially the Eagles today. We look at those guys, then we look at the strength of the on-ball brigade that the Eagles have. I think that's where the game will be won today on ball, and the ruck pairing also very strong for the Eagles.
And Sodas from the Double Blues, what's the story in their camp this afternoon?
Well, some big news, Neil. Premiership forward Stephen White has paid the penalty for some recent poor form. He's out today, coming in, tough tackling Martin Mackner, also from AFL duties. And ruckman Simon Feast, he'll be back in the side, and he is a huge benefit to the Sturt Footy Club today.
Thanks, Sodas, and I'll look through that side, and obviously these conditions will suit them.
Oh, well, look, Feast and Chambers down forward, that's the key, I think, for Sturt today. They need to find a big marking forward target. Chambers has been great all year. And then again, I mentioned before, the on-ball brigade, the likes of Weatherall and Squire. Can they really run with the Eagles today? What do you think, Neil?
Well, we'll see how it all pans out, that's for sure. Michael Maney with the call of the opening bounce.
Qualifying final at the Adelaide Oval between Sturt and the Eagles. Big leap by Oliver. Shirley got it to Potter. Colville to sit under it. The man with the headgear, number 15, is Andrew Whiteman, who missed a bit of football this year with a fractured skull. There he is. An important part of the midfield, Andrew Whiteman. Early boundary throw in. Outer side. Qualifying final. Sturt finished third. The Eagles second. Lindsay knocked it down. Cooper was there. Shirley, bit of experience, ran it down the line. Whiteman head over the footy. You'd expect that umpire will come in and ball it up. Not a real quick start to this game, Ben.
No, just everyone getting there, finding their feet at the moment. They're just getting in touch, their first touches for the day, getting some confidence up early, waiting for 18 maybe to break apart this first quarter.
Lindsay, powerful knockdown. Beveridge, who's been really good for them at half-back. To Sheedy, back to Beveridge. This is the Sturt way, they share it. Ball just booted forward. Bowen overran it. Pedlar needs to get rid of it. Shirley, Cooper over the top. Mackenzie for the Eagles. Stokes and Toya. Toya takes the mark, boots it inside 50 at the back. Ellis. Roberts at the front. He'll get the free kick for a high tackle. And Cameron Roberts, who's had some horrendous injury problems with groins and whatnot, will relieve the pressure for the Double Blues.
Just got caught behind there, Dale Ellis. He needs to find the front spot, especially early in the game, get his hands on a few footies, get his confidence up.
Roberts to Curtis, then looking for Squire. Smith overran the ball, allowed Merriman in. We'll get a ball up at half-back for Sturt.
Starting with Simon Feast down forward, releasing Oliver into the ruck.
And Andrew Rogers is already a problem for the Eagles. Toya coming off the ground. Whiteman with the hand pass to Curtis was strong. Curtis now down to half forward. Ball the ground. Pearce, he's quick, not quick enough to get his foot to the ball. Good tackle by Bowen. Eagles come away. Colville wrapped up and thrown into the turf by Sheedy. Good, strong, aggressive and pressured football from the Double Blues. And we'll get another ball up inside the centre square.
Let it go.
Andrew Rogers, I mentioned,
Come on, guys.
might be a problem, it seems, for
Both mucking around here.
the Eagles.
Go for the football.
Yes, I'll just check out Luke Toya, just following down the race. He's going immediately down the race, so all does not go well for his afternoon.
Pass it off. Umpire said play on. Ball must have been touched off the boot. And another ball up. Luke Toya, an early exit. That will be a difficult one for the Eagles.
That could be slightly costly. I think they can cover him if they have lost him. I mean, obviously they'd love to have him out there all day, but I think with their runners, the likes of Mackenzie, Sickler, I think they can cover him.
Merriman's kick, brilliantly smothered by Cooper. Balls to Pearce. Potter held him without the footy. And we've got a free kick, young Daniel Pearce. It was there. He's threw him out of the contest, as you heard the umpire say. Pearce has got a man making some space at half forward. It's Cooper. Cooper loves to load up with a long left footer. Kicks it inside 50. Fish! That's what they'll want. They'll want the late inclusion. Simon Feast to stand up and take some marks and provide a target. Stephen White not playing. And Cooper found some space. And Feast will shoot at goal.
It was a lovely kick. He kicked over the top of the pack there. Feast has a little bit too much experience in that marking contest, managed to work his man under the ball.
Good go of that. Feast kicks the opening goal of the qualifying final. The Double Blues get the early one. Simon Feast would mark and capped it off with a nice goal.
Well, that's exactly the start that Sturt were after. You see the kick coming in there over the top, the right-hand side for Simon Feast. He held himself strongly in the marking contest, pushed off the young guy, Brad Coles. With two hands on the ball, went back and did what he had to do, and that's a great start for Sturt in this qualifying final.
And another problem for some players out there with Adam Clun coming on, and I think that would be a blood rule for Tim Weatherall. Is that right, Sotis?
Certainly is, Neil. Timmy's got a cut just at his left eye there, the blood streaming down the face. So Clun will go on to the half-forward line for him, and I'm sure just a couple of stitches, or even some Vaseline just to hold the blood in.
Soderstrom, Andrew Rogers on the boundary. Soderstrom, a former Sturt player, and of course the 242 gamer in Andrew Rogers, a former Eagles player.
Me again, and me. Go for the ball. Come on, guys, go on.
Umpire trying to get control early. Sorry, Neil. Just trying to get the control, get the voice going to the players. Not too much aggression.
Well, done by Oliver. And Whiteman coming in late, making it a tag team tackle with Sheedy. You see there, blood was streaming down the face of Timmy Weatherall. As Soda suggested, did you get a good look at it there? Colville with another clearance, chasing back Beveridge. Philippo couldn't trap it. Beveridge can. Beveridge up for the hand pass quickly. Sturt need to work it, and they've surrendered it to Rugolo. Off the left foot, Treby, long and inaccurate. Minor score, but the first score this afternoon for the Eagles. They trail Sturt by 5 points. We've gone 6 minutes in the qualifying final.
It's a good start. They would have liked that one, the Eagles, get themselves back. But the Eagles keep an eye out this afternoon for their kicking game. They're a long kicking game. They haven't actually taken too many marks this year on average, but they're a long kicking game, and they've got a lot of good crummers.
Vinny Rugolo starting the game on the ground today. He's been pinch hitting off the bench. Here's Matner. Arches the back and runs away. Long kick, looking for Feast, and he's got it again. The big man's being paid it. No, he hasn't. Play on. Ball just trickled out of bounds. I thought he just held that, but Coles was on his hammer.
And he got both hands wrapped around it, but just, oh, unlucky. Just bounced out of bounds.
Very near thing. Bowen knocked it down. Feast does the roving. Handball. Richardson is a goal kicker. He's got the wobbles up. He goes back in. Brilliant tackle, Sikalella. Umpire calls for it. Good tackle. Hey.
Going to be a key of today's game. You see there, maybe a little bit of first 5-minute nerves. It's not quite been hard to get that clean touch, but that'll be a key. There's tackling today. Keep an eye out for that.
Sikalella got it to Colville, who just wobbles it to Stokes. Pearce couldn't smother. Stokes to pass it on. He really does look as if he's in good nick. That far. The kick looking for Filippo. Smith back to Westbrook, who coughed it up to Whiteman. It slipped to Squire. Squire got it to Beveridge, and Beveridge kicks it long.
Sikalella advantage by that at the back. Judged it well. Will go to Trevi. No, he won't. He'll go shorter to Bock. Bock, centre wing, chased hard. Bock put off his kick, out on the full. Brilliant piece of chasing by Big Bowen, the ruckman. Have a look at the pressure on Nathan Bock. He fell awkwardly as well. So now it's play on. And away goes Matner. Uses his pace. Driven inside 50. And the target was Oliver. And he'll probably be content. Well, you'd think he'd be content now with a bounce down. And that's what he gets. And as Ben Knight's intimated, possibly a case for holding the ball there as Oliver went to ground in the tackle. Sikalella. Stokes was clever twice. Tripped. Umpire will pay too high, in fact. Josh Richardson was the offender there. Perhaps it was a bit high. McKenzie with his first touch of the afternoon. 70 metres from his defensive goal, drives long. Lindsay opposed to Beveridge. Interesting matchup, that one. Lindsay still on centre wing. Looks up and goes short. Option was Colville. Colville with the look-away hand pass. Whiteman was strong. Sheedy took it away off the left foot. Scrambled old kick. Oh, here's Matner. Off the left foot again. Matner attacking. Bounce it or no. Well, just as well. Got it off. Oliver was hit after he kicked it. Umpire said play on. Didn't matter. Feast. Mark inside 50. His second for the afternoon. Sturt have started well. Here's Feast. Lines up. Drives it up. And it should be a mark to Chambers in the middle of the pack. No. Richardson around the corner. Sturt have 2 on the board.
Well, at the moment, the Sturt Torals in Chambers and Feast causing trouble. We've seen how important Marty Matner's run has been from defence. He's had 2 or 3 runs out of defence with the bounce, the fast movement, and that allowed Sturt to bring it in. See Feast again, push it off the young man in Coles, and put it into the top of the square where we heard Neil say that Brad Chambers almost had his name written on it. But great crumbs and a fantastic finish by Richardson.
31 goals for the year for the goal sneak in Richardson. Oliver over the top, bit of shepherding in the ruck. We've got a free kick for Sturt big man. They've started up full of running, the double blues. Former St Kilda player. Kicks it long, looking for Feast. Why wouldn't you? Knocked away by Coles, falls at the back to Bock. Bit of experience. Oh, turned it over his Crows teammate in Matner. He's outside 50. Matner loads up a long kick. Chambers flies. Pedler got a hand on it. Sikalella knocked it down. Stokes wants the line. Funded beautifully well. Banana kick has kicked it out of bounds on the full. And just couldn't work that ball closer. Adam Clun.
Maybe not quite the kick. The option was probably to put it to the top of the square there rather than trying to reverse Banana. And he was leaning back, had all weight going behind him. So probably the most difficult kick if you're off balance to try and bend that one back. So the top of the square, I think, would have been the option.
Sikalella has done wonderfully well roaming across half-back this year for the Eagles. Had that thumb injury. There's another blood rule down there, Andrew Rogers.
Yeah, another blood rule coming off here. We just see just an interchange here on the bench, just a bit of blood coming out of the nose.
Jacob Bowen with a bit of claret. It's what it's like in finals footy. Shirley receives from Sikalella. Robert Shirley has played a lot of football this year with the Eagles, but qualified for the finals. Kick to a pack situation. Sheedy in hard. Emerging Chambers. Oliver. Squire, that is brilliantly done to Sheedy, and that's not brilliantly done, but Matner did brilliantly. The ball over the top. Short kick and spots up Cooper. And that was Beveridge, who did very, very well, and Cooper will kick from 40.
Sturt are the 9th team out of 9 in their kicks this year. They're the first team in handball. You saw there where Squire, it's just instinctual to handball first rather than look for maybe a kicking option. He just handballed it through, expecting the run to be there, and in that case, Marty Matner was good enough to get out of it, but probably not the best option again, but that's what Sturt do, and that's the way they move the football.
And Mogridge goes for the dictionary for instinctual. I think it's a word. Well, I hope it's a word, Ben.
I'll pay it.
Cooper from 40. Good looking kick. He doesn't miss many. The boy from the Adelaide Hills pumps through the double blues third. They're off to a flying start.
You're exactly right. This is the start that either team would have liked, and the fact that Sturt have got it, they'd be absolutely wrapped. The Eagles a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. There's that handball. Colville just really had to pin the hips and hold him up there. But a good chip and well finished by Matty Cooper. But the Eagles need to get one back here. They need to do it very quickly.
Well, they're second in the competition, the Eagles, and yet they've lost the opening quarter more times than they've won it throughout the minor round. 9 wins, 11 losses. So they're slow to start. Sikalella with a free kick now. Get down toward half forward. Well, called play on. We'll come back to a replay. The opening goal for the Eagles with Colville. There was a free kick somewhere in there, and Gavin Colville said, I'll just trot off with the ball, and the umpire said, yep, that's okay.
Sam Philippo got double teamed here, and you see he's actually got the left hand across his shoulder there. That's from Matthew Smith. Matthew Smith's got left hand over the shoulder, and that's what he got the free kick for. Colville running on beautifully to the crumb. Lovely crumb off the pack, and finishing exactly as he should, in space, with very little pressure, and he's just snuck that through. Great shots there, goal umpire Cam.
Colville gets the Eagles on the board with a goal. Sturt pushing forward. Squire. Big pack developing. And Sikalella, he just loves it, doesn't he? He doesn't mind some physical attention. He cops plenty, gives a bit out. Colville took it out of the ruck. Loose ball, Passador. Oh, brilliant play. Just forged ahead. Passador, he could kick another one. Inspired play by Mark Passador. And the Eagles say, well, if you can get off to a flyer, we're going to try and match this. Mark Passador kicks their second.
No doubt. I said the Eagles need a quick goal, and that's exactly what they've done. They haven't kicked one, they've kicked two. See Passador running onto the football. The Eagles, in that case, getting the fast movement. Colville, the kick out of the centre. So important, that quick kick out of the centre, because it opens up the forward line. It lets the forwards, in that case, Passador running back with it. But the guy in Philippo, Sammy Philippo, was also running up onto the ball. So the open forward line, exactly what either side needs. And the fact that the Eagles have been able to do that out of the centre, very important.
27 goals for Mark Passador this season, been troubled by some hamstring problems, playing only his 14th game of the year. Sturt with the advantage out of the middle. Quick hand pass to Cooper. That looks like he was tackled without the ball. In any case, it comes to Sheedy. Burst of pace and then kicked it long and high. The target was Chambers. It's knocked out of bounds. No, it's not. Richardson did well. Kept it in play. Around on the left foot. Josh Richardson. Great centre up, and Feast takes a mark 20 metres out. And what does Richard Williams decide? The umpire coming in, and Simon Feast slow to get up. He won't get 25, so perhaps he'll be quicker to his feet.
Sikalella snuck one across the chops. There's Simon Feast marked that. Simon Feast unlucky not to get the 50, I'd say. But it was a lovely centering kick. That's the option from that pocket. You've got to bring it back to the tools and hope that they can pull a mark down. In that case, found Simon Feast, and he should go back here and kick this one as well.
It's goal for goal at the moment, isn't it? Sturt with the first 3 of the afternoon. And then 2 quick ones from the Eagles in reply. Here's Simon Feast from 30 metres out. Leans back on the kick. Starts it to the left. It comes back. Not far enough.
Really would have hoped for more there. Simon Feast, that could have made a big difference this first quarter if Sturt went in a couple of goals up.
McKenzie in best position. Ball thumped away. Fiacci. Sheedy in his 100th game. Whiteman jammed it on the boot. Bock will get a free kick against Simon Feast. Just a holding infringement.
They've made the change, put Bock on Feast now. So that's probably a good move, I'd say. Brad Cole's allowed Simon Feast a little bit too much space in that first 5-10 minutes.
And that hit around the nose has caused some concern for Feast, and he'll come off the ground on the blood rule.
So, Michael, that's 3 Sturt players off for the blood rule already this term. Jake Bowen's had his nose patched up, so he's about to come back on the ground. Timmy Weatherall's been patched up over the eye. He's wearing number 62 rather than his regular 6. And Simon Feast just coming off now. A little bit of blood coming out of the nose and lip.
It's like Grand Central Station down there with players on and off. The emergency umpire on the field as well.
Get the Red Cross down here, Michael. They can pick up a couple of points.
They're in a bit of need at the moment, the Red Cross. A bit short. Chambers just collects it well. And Cooper's in some space at half forward. Running to the square as Oliver. Cooper may go all the way. He's kicked one. Loads it up and misses. And Chris Oliver is not a happy camper as he was running free into the square, and Cooper just blasted away.
He was. That's a couple of times Cooper's blasted away. And look, Cooper himself not happy, and so he shouldn't be. That is what Sturt need to kick. Those last couple of points they've kicked, they needed to make the most of those, kick the goals, and really put the pressure on the Eagles. That's Bock missing through the middle, a very costly turnover. It wasn't in the end, but it could have been.
Bock flying from behind. Nice mark over Whiteman, the shorter opponent from Sturt. Passador on the lead, doesn't get that far. Hugged the boundary line. Umpire said it was out on the full. Treby marked it, but has to surrender it to Clun. Clun has 2 loose in the centre, one of them Bowen. Takes his time. In the end, he has those players covered. Clun now plays on down the line. Not a bad kick, in fact, a very good kick. Code taking the mark. Code looks up, goes in, long and strong. Middle of the pack was Whiteman. Ball to ground. First to recover into the double blues, but they'll get a bounce down or a ball up from Richard Williams, it'll be. It was Big Bowen who was first to recover, did well. Oliver comes in. Westbrook taken in a tackle by Cooper. Now Burton taken to ground, and we'll get another ball up inside, locked inside Sturt's forward 50. It's Timmy Weatherall with his father, actually Mick Weatherall, who's selector for Sturt. Free kick, play on. Mackenzie comes loose for the Eagles.
Mackenzie, one of their best ball gatherers, to Stokes, who had 28 possessions last week. Matty Stokes, terrific player, to Passador, who looks on today. Free kick and or mark. Advantage all paid. It goes to Biaggi. He just waits and waits for Ellis, who provides the lead. Getting back in the middle was Code. Filippo, handball chopped off. Had a couple running in the square. Well done by Smith, although below his knees, terrible. Got a free kick, though. And he'll get a free kick for a push. It'll go to Matthew Smith. And he didn't look too good at all below his knees, Smith. There's Stokes.
No, it was a clash of heads, I think. They both went down for the footy, and yes, exactly right.
Well picked up, Ben. And Code's got it at half-back for the double blues. Kicks to right in front of the interchange bench, thumped away by Pedlar. Underground handball by Sikalella. Passador threw it on the boots. Down Sheedy, who got it to Code, to another 100-gamer in the skipper in Nelson. Oh, good kick by Nelson, just sets up Chambers. Whiteman flanking him. Chambers just spins around, goes into the pocket. The lead was by Oliver. Loose ball. Williams to the line, takes it there. Good play by Williams, under a bit of pressure. 7 points the difference, 21 and a half gone, first term.
Just a quick look at Brenton Phillips on the right for Sturt and Ronnie Fuller on the left in his 4th season with the Eagles. Oliver, great tap. Sikalella read it best for the Eagles. Hand pass too severe for Treby. Chased by the big man in Chambers. Treby was too strong, and also on his left foot, I think he fooled everybody. Now gets the kick away. Dangerous across goals, but finds Bock. Bock has O'Hara leading on this side of the ground. Back comes the ruckman. That's the direction of the kick. Sheedy from behind, just missed everything. Fiacci tackled as he got it. Hand pass was very good to Shirley. Shirley kicks it up for Passador. Too much pace for his direct opponent in Code. Turns around. Ellis will come on the lead. Passador doesn't really put it to his advantage. Should be knocked away. It is by the Sturt defenders. They got away with one there. Underground, Kit finds Code. Code will go down the line again. And the experience of Squire quite content to allow that ball to go over the line, and a change of jumper for Tim Weatherald as he comes back on the ground, Sodas.
Yeah, number 62, Timmy, instead of number 6, he just changed with his co-McGarry medalist Jade Sheedy off for a spell.
Mark Soderstrom and Andrew Rogers on the boundary for ABC television football this afternoon. Curtis away to Beveridge, doesn't quite know where to go. Spreads it to the outer side. Filippo v Roberts. Roberts just wanted to hack it off the ground. Gains control to Matner, who started brilliantly. The handball overlapping over the top, found Smith. Smith will kick it long, inside 50. Ill-directed kick, and Coles, under no pressure at all, takes the mark. Wants to go to Colville, in all sorts of trouble back to Williams, so they've effectively mucked it up. Sturt working hard, forwards working hard. A paddle goes to Matner. Matner, who loves a bounce. He kicks it short into the pocket and finds Cooper. Cooper takes the mark. Umpire said play on, must have been touched. Taken by Pearce. Check side, has missed to the near side. He's not happy about it. And Daniel Pearce doesn't need too many possessions to cut you up.
He's a very good young player, isn't he? There's that call to play on, so it must have been touched off the boot. It was a good tackle, and the throw, well, maybe he could have been pink holding the ball, but it would have been pretty tough. See another change there with Dale Ellis coming off for the Eagles after being 2 or 3 teamed each time it's gone forward, and finding hard to get a hold of the football at the moment.
Interesting to the end where Lindsay's gone at the moment. Sturt have pushed right up the ground, prepared to leave 3 Eagles inside forward 50 by themselves in order to put the pressure on. It's worked so far. No, it hasn't. Box steps inside, got away with it. Nathan Bog takes a bounce. Now he's in trouble. He's being chased. He's in a lot of trouble. He's gone. And they will be holding the ball, and Squire, the 2-time McGarry medalist, will take the free kick. Oh, he just ran around in circles and eventually ran into trouble. Here's Squire, speaking of running around in circles, drives it up long, looking for Oliver. Punch came. Eagles at the front through Treby. Off the left foot, this time to Passador. How many times have we seen this afternoon already? Passador leading Code, a merry dance.
It's a worry. Brenton Phillips at the moment. Passador getting on top.
Filippo on top as well. Came from the side then, was always in best position to mark that. Big Lindsay will sit in the square. You don't think he'll lead? No, he doesn't. Ball sat up for Lindsay. The big paw comes up at the front. Fiacci, still the ball's loose. Emerging with it was Curtis, was held back, punched it clear, almost to the 50-metre line. Well done by Curtis.
Almost took a little bit long to get it in there, Sammy Filippo. If he got back off the mark quickly, got it in one-on-one, might have been a bit more open, whereas I think, you know, by the time he got it in there, almost 2 and 3 on one situation again.
Stokes, dangerous. Filippo shares it with Shirley. Got around Whiteman okay. Lines him up, Rob Shirley. Looking for Lindsay, who just knocked it down. Treby robes it, ducked the head. Caught in the tackle. Matner's got him. We know Matner's one of the best tacklers in the business. And Ben Nelson, I'll tell you what, when those two blokes grab you, you know you've been nabbed. There's Lee Treby.
Seen how hard Matner's working both ways. Really doing a good job for Sturt at the moment. Rebounding into attack, but then getting back and offering that defence.
Sturt by 8 points. Williams has dropped the footy. And the free kick will go to Beveridge.
Took it out of the ruck.
Former Eagle. Just in the back pocket. The Passador Code matchup is really working for the Eagles, and Brenton Phillips has left him on. Passador, high kick, Filippo knocked it down. Whiteman got through. Klan about to be nabbed. Chambers has found a bit of space in the centre of the ground. Brant Chambers kicks it long. Sikalella, Richardson waiting for him to fumble. Richardson diving on the football. In goes Pearce. Sikalella dragged it in. Knocked it away to Mackenzie. Terrific play. Westbrook floats out of half back. Kicks it long down the line. Filippo couldn't take it. He got a free kick though over the shoulder. It's going to come back to Filippo against Smith. Oh, Ticky Touchwood for mine. Ben, talk us through it.
Well, again, he just put the hand up for the spoil, got him around the head Philippe took a bit of a dive forward. That's what the umpire saw, so play on in my books.
Here's Passador, who really is cutting them up.
That'd be about his 6th mark, I reckon, Moggy.
That's right, 4 marks, 6 kicks to Mark Passador.
He's working beautifully up the ground, Mark Passador, and when he gets closer to goal, this is the reverse angle
Got a
from
good kick
right
on him
behind.
too. Chance here.
Kicks it to the square, over the back, Roberts. Good vision. Saw Clun. It's just got to sit for him. Oh, handball. Was that a throw? Shirley. Will he make them pay? Lindsay provides the lead. Passador's there also. He flies. Bowen as the roving for a big man to Matner. Matner's short kick finds Beveridge, so the double blues are away again. Beveridge, short kick, looks for Smith, 2-on-1, 2 Eagles spoil each other. It falls okay to Filippo. Westbrook, lucky to get the kick away. Passador in front. That is a clever mark. I tell you what, has he come to play today, Mark Passador?
Has to be a change on Passador now. You'd think after his 5th mark, there has to be a change. Brenton Phillips has to throw it around. It's a great one-handed mark. You see here, that one over the top, that was the handball, which really, it's not doing your team any favours. It was back into space, yes, but unfortunately, there's only, I think it was 2 Eagles there. I think it went to.
Adam Clun has been called to the diary room to explain his actions after that, and Jay Chudy back on.
Passador, in the meantime, Reds, goal number 2 for him. And a good start to this match, so the Eagles get one back. They trail by 2.
The problem with that handball is the fact that Sturt worked it beautifully out of defence and run it along the boundary, and then to throw it back into space, into the middle of the ground, it just opens up again for the Eagles. So really had to take it to the boundary there, Adam Clun. You see there, Mark Passador really getting on top. Fantastic one-handed mark, just using that strength that he's got in his lower body. He's a very good player, and the Eagles really happy, I'm sure, that he's come out today playing after, like Neil said before, an injury-interrupted season.
15 inside 50s to the double blues, 9 to the Eagles, but the Eagles have done well from their entries to get a score. Squire just belted it forward. Oh, great tackle coming in there. Umpire calls no, he's happy with that. It's quarter time. Cooper with the tackle. The double blues have started pretty well. The Eagles have picked them back. It's 3-3-21, plays 3-1-19 at quarter time. The double blues by 2 points. As we look through those stats, Ben, and what do you make of the opening term?
Well, it's been very even. Sturt always a few extra handballs than most of their opposition teams. Apart from that, we see the inside 50s. We mentioned the fact that Sturt had gone in 15 times compared to 9, so you'd expect them to be a little bit further ahead. But they did have 2 or 3 times or chances where they kicked points where maybe they should have kicked goals, and also a couple of even balls that went out in the full where they could have come back in with a kick to the top of the square and given them another opportunity to score.
Quarter time of the qualifying final. It's the double blues by 2 points. And here's Michael Maney with the second term.
Second quarter of the qualifying final. Sturt lead it by 2 points. Oliver and Lindsay. Mackenzie, quick hands. Whiteman can't get through. Umpire calls my ball. Outstanding first quarter. 3-3 to 3-1. Colville, how did he get rid of that? And Ben Knights took it out of the ruck contest after the 2 ruckmen missed it. Technically,
Umpire called play on.
Yes.
Therefore, you're allowed to do that.
thank you. Colville got one high. Advantage rule, Shirley. Stokes. He's got to use Colville on the overlap. Inside 50. Passador, the target. Fiacci just thumped it forward. Smith wants the line. Got it back in. Fiacci, good tackle. Nelson off the ground, out of trouble. Cooper has got to go with Mackenzie. And they both tumble over the line.
Michael Brenton Phillips acknowledging the damage that Mark Passador has done in that first term. Just swapped his defenders over. Matthew Smith now has Passador and Code going on to Sammy Filippo.
Smith acknowledged by Adelaide by being placed on the senior list. He was a rookie this season to start with. There's the kick to Filippo. Lovely kick by Colville, found Filippo.
Philippi just gave him the little hands out, kicking in front of me and Colville with his great vision. He's had 3 or 4 touches at the start of this second quarter, so turning into an extremely damaging player.
Sam Philippi, we know, can kick a long ball and is a very accurate kick. This shot from behind the goals at the northern end of the ground. We'll watch as he kicks for the southern goals. Started right, it stays right, it won't make the distance. Double Blues defenders, including Oliver, knock it over the line. Disappointed with that, Sam Philippi.
Yeah, maybe just tried to kick it a little bit too hard there, I think, and almost hooked it around his body a little bit. And that's why it shot off to the right-hand side. Didn't quite time it as well as he would have liked.
Important contest. Lindsay just throws Oliver out of the way. The umpire quick on the whistle to say you can't do that. Chris Carey in and awarding the free kick. Would have been Richard Fox, in fact, but Sturt with possession. Matner made room to the ball. He's been paid the mark, and that one, believe me, bounced on the way through.
Oh, I think he did the bouncing, didn't he, Neil?
Oh,
I reckon he got his arm under that.
I think he got it first time. The ball came out and then it came back again. Let's have a look. No, I think it came out. Anyway, we'll see. We'll get a better angle, maybe later. Beveridge from half-back, looking for Bowen. Out of the contest, Filippo. Back to Merriman, took his eyes off the ball twice. Now Merriman down to half-forward. Great kick in the end. There's that man, Passador, mark number 7, I think it is, Moggy, but we'll come back to that as he drives it inside 50. Roberts gets to the front, palms it down, quick hands in there. Stokes with a snap-on goal. The bounce just the wrong way. Moggy, Passador.
Yeah, 6 marks, 8 kicks, Neil.
And a couple of goals to go with that, so pretty important play at the moment. And I think what Sturt is going to have to do with Passador is actually, they put Smith onto him, but I think Code and Smith are pretty much going to have to double team him. So most of the time, they're going to have to let Filippo have a little bit more space so that Passador can't be as damaging as he has been so far.
Oddly knocked down by Lindsay to Colville, who set it up. Ellis couldn't take the mark. Rugolo in there. Ellis has gone with the short sleeve Guernsey in the second term. There's Ben Nelson.
It's a pretty dangerous forward line they've got down there at the moment, with the likes of Ellis also in there with Filippo and Passador.
Oliver. Lindsay. Tackle Sheedy to the ground. A good tackle. Umpires keeping good communications going with the players. Terrific to see. Not really sure whether it comes back the other way from the players.
Not too many times do you get call the umpire by his nickname, do you?
Well, an arm wrestle here, just a game of inches, all going nowhere. There's Robert Shirley, who I suppose is going to be expected to add a little bit more to that midfield. He can run with and he can create as well.
And he had a fair bit of the football in the first quarter as well.
It's been okay. Beveridge, Whiteman, just kick for the line. Merriman keeps it in and cleverly got it back to Pedler. Pedler's kick, just set up Stokes. Ball just kicked forward, taken by Stokes. Stokes lines them up, goes for home and kicks one. He is a goal sneak. Matthew Stokes kicked it behind a moment ago. Gets his first of this afternoon, and the Eagles lead the contest by 5 points.
Well, that's the start that the Eagles need in this quarter. You see the handball there, the linking handball. Stokes finishing under a fair bit of pressure coming across, so he just had to. He kept his eyes on the footy, kept his eyes on the goal. Worried about kicking the football and kicking the goal first before what was coming at him. So a fantastic finish under a fair bit of pressure. And a great start to the Eagles in this second quarter.
9 possessions already for Matthew Stokes.
Ball out of the middle. Beveridge, former Eagle, doing very, very well. Sturt go forward again. The greatest of kicks, reading it well, was Sicolella, been good in the defensive area. Now to Shirley. Shirley looks up. Nobody free, nothing much on offer, so he goes long. McKenzie was at the back, judged it best. Fiacci taken to ground in a solid tackle by Curtis. Very, very hard man, Michael Curtis. Ball out of bounds, centre wing.
Sturt are the best tackling side in the SANFL. They average just under 34 tackles a game. So they're a very good tackling side. So we see the fact that It's such a great day here at the Adelaide Oval. It's a good day for Skills, but also Sturt need to put those tackles on.
Shirley running around, finally found a target. Merriman out the back, drives it long. Rugolo opposed to Nelson, got a hand to the ball. Ellis close to the boundary, and Curtis just making sure it goes over.
A bit overawed by it at the moment, Dale Ellis. Don't think he would have played too many finals in his time. Might have got a couple of finals last year, but...
Well, I think he missed the finals last year with injury. Cooper out to Whiteman, a bit too quick for him. Clever enough to get it to the 2002 Magarey medalist and Jade Sheedy playing his 100th game today. And Merriman will... Downfield, is it?
Yep.
So it'll go to...
Now it's coming back. It's an Eagles free kick. The umpire signal too high, so something behind the play. It's coming back to where the kick was taken.
And the free kick will be taken by Fiacci, so something happening off the ball. And Peter Fiacci, who a couple of weeks ago had 39 possessions, had a run with roll last week against Tony Brown and did pretty well. So his game has certainly lifted. He wants to maintain his position in this Eagles lineup. I don't know that he can get this goal. He's on the wrong side for a left footer. We'll wait and see. Just across the face. Up goes Ellis, Lindsay. They both fly at the same time. Ball pushed through for one behind.
And that's where Dale Ellis, someone like himself, he's such a confidence player. If he would have had his hands, or he had both his hands on it, would have taken that if he had that little bit more confidence up in the first quarter. But at the moment, just struggling a little bit.
Double Blues is struggling too, just at the moment, to try and go forward. They've been stifled after early on finding some space in their freewheeling handball style. Eagles have tightened up and toughened up, and that ball out of bounds. Cameron Roberts was the defender doing the kicking.
So I was just wondering if anything, you've heard anything about Luke Toyer?
No, he did hobble off, didn't he? So they won't bring him back on. He's still being assessed by the medical staff. But Knightsy, we will get down there and find out exactly what the go is.
That'd be great. Thanks,
Williams took the ball in, hasn't tried to get rid of it. There was a case for saying he was holding the ball. Richard Williams said no. Comes in and quick to throw the ball up. Lindsay opposed, well, virtually unopposed, really. He was able to swat away the ball. Now on the ground, somehow got it to Shirley. Shirley to Merriman. Merriman high. Rugolo comes, almost to mark to Sturt. Curtis through traffic, surrendered the ball. Treby to Stokes, on the toe. Stokes goes towards it. Goes to ground, perhaps unnecessarily. Big Shepherd coming in there on Matner, but he did well. He got the ball in the end and got it out to 49 metres from the Sturt defensive goal. Well done to Matner. Neil Craig, the Crows coach, would have been impressed with his young charge in Matner. The grey outfit there looks a bit cold, actually. It's might be Robert Odie who's sitting beside. Ball back in, and again it'll be holding by Lindsay. He gave away more free kicks last season than any other player in the competition, and I reckon he'd be up there again this year. Oliver with the free kick, stirred out of defensive area. Passador, well, there's a mark that maybe he could have taken. Ball out of bounds. And Soda's just a little cooler, just a little cloudier at the moment.
It was, Neil. We did have the sun at the start of this game, the end of the first game. The cloud cover is coming over. Still no sign of rain, which is good. And, well, the conditions will be a little more favourable for the players if the sun is down.
Last time you said there was no rain, it came bucketing down Sodas.
I am some sort of weatherman, aren't I?
Goes to Wetherell to Sheedy. Looks for Chambers. Pedlar did okay, knocked it away. Chambers steps up Squire. Squire shot on goal. I think he might have kicked it. He has. It's a goal to the Double Blues and scores a level in the qualifying final.
They needed that Sturt. Eagles have had the better of them in the first 10 minutes of this quarter, and they needed that rebound. Squire finishing well. Good handball by Brad Chambers, using his strength to get that handball away into space. It's really exactly what we expected. An arm wrestle at the moment. Both teams going goal for goal. Don't know who can keep it up the longest.
Lindsay down to Stokes. Whiteman was quick on the tackle. Lindsay surrendered it. Squire out of the middle, down forward. Good mark by Bowen. He's a left footer on Bob. He'll turn around and look to move it quickly. He's got two inside 50, and one of them was Chambers. Going back, took a strong mark. And Joey Pedler put the pressure on. And Brant Chambers pull down the mark. He'll go back and shoot for goal from perhaps 25 metres out. First side are the double blues.
Right there, okay?
Yeah, lovely kick. Coming quickly out of the centre again. Brant Chambers is showing all year, and he's shown the last couple of years how much of a strong focal target he is for Sturt down forward. His accuracy has improved in the last couple of years as well. And he should go back. We'll see the shot from the far side of Adelaide Oval there.
Eagles, you're right there.
There, that flag just on the stand in the background, you can see slightly fluttering, and perhaps Brant Chambers starts this on the right-hand goalpost. It'll work its way back on the breeze, and he does so. And a goal to the double blues. They've got 2 in 2 minutes.
It's a great kick, Brant Chambers. He's taken a couple of good strong grabs. There's the quick movement out of the centre that is so important today. Jacob Bowen getting back off the mark quickly, pushing it up, and he's actually just come off the ground, so he's got a little blood rule. He's got a nick on his elbow, so after taking that good grab and getting in forward to Brant Chambers who can finish it, Jacob Bowen's come off the ground.
Spilled some blood this afternoon. Nose before, now it's his elbow. Worked down to his knee next, I guess.
As it doesn't end up in his jugular, be okay. Feast into the ruck. O'Hara on the ground. Treby. In goes Williams. There's Jacob Bowen with a bit more strapping. He'll be costing the club a fortune at the minute. O'Hara got that down to Treby. No clearance. Treby, surely that's holding the footy. That is a menacing tackle by Martin Matner. He is extremely good on the tackle. Matner, driving kick, and finds Monfries. Monfries kicks to the square, getting back Richardson and/or Chambers. One grab, couldn't take it. Ball in dispute, Cole's there. And talk us through this, Ben.
Yeah,
just couldn't hang on.
No, he couldn't. It was a good kick by Monfries over the top. Chambers running back into space. They want to rush this through, Eagles. Otherwise, that might happen.
I think Chambers has kicked it. And the umpire says all clear. Or was it Burton? We'll wait for the replay. It all happened pretty quickly. Let's have a look. Oh, well, I think Burton, it just fell onto his boot.
Is that 3 boots on that?
Oh, I think we've got to give it to Burton, although Chambers had won it, but I think he's run to Burton straight away.
Did. No, we'll pay it.
Adrian Burton finally being credited with that. Feast goes up and down, and he almost went down again with a big hip and shoulder, and finally we'll get the secondary bounce. Whiteman pummeled into the turf by the Eagles ruckman in O'Hara. He's really stood up this season. 2 goals the margin in favour of the double blues halfway through second term. Shirley took possession, was grabbed immediately, threw it. Could have been in the back as well. Timmy Weatherall received the free kick. Well, in actual fact, what's happened there is Burton's hit the ground. And then, as his foot's come up, he's been lucky and just got a heel on the ball. Regardless, they count in any case. Ball inside Sturt's, attacking 50. Mackenzie went back bravely. Well roved by Cooper. Across in the direction of Chambers, and eventually it's out of bounds. Chambers not happy, throws Sikalella down. Ordinarily that may well have been a free kick. In front of the scoreboard.
It probably was a free kick, but Sikalella loves to take a dive as well, so... that there, A-class acting.
I would have thought B-class. I would have thought at least we're in the Logie. Ball back in. Whiteman trapped the ball, tried to go through traffic, got it forward. Well done by Oliver. Off to Richardson. The snapshot from Richardson is there. Off the outside of the boot, Josh Richardson. Gee, he's been valued for the double blues this season in the forward pocket.
Worrying signs for the Eagles. That's 4 in a row for Sturt now. Now the Eagles got out by a goal. 4 in a row, the last 4 goals for Sturt. And the Eagles have to stop their run out of the middle. Again, it's come from a quick movement out of the middle. Managed to get down. And the Sturt offence getting on top of the Eagles defence at the moment. So really, really crucial, this centre bounce now. The Eagles have to get their hands on it. The likes of Colville, Sicklela's gone back into the centre. He's been thrown on the ball. They have to stop and stem this tide. The double blue scoring.
Knows how to kick a goal, Josh Richardson. He's got a couple on the board. In goes Feast. Ron Fuller has realised the situation and thrown Justin Sickelela into the mix in the midfield.
Yep, you've got to have your experience in the centre. Sickelela, Colville, McKenzie. They're the types that are going to settle it down.
O'Hara, Sheedy, Feast, clever handball to Smith. Here go the double blues again. Long kick by Smith. Up goes Chambers at the back. Foot race. Chambers may go off the ground. Will he? No. He may turn it around the body. Good kick. Finds Whiteman and his bootlegs. Handball across. Sheedy. Shot on goal. It's home. Double blues on the roll. They shared it around. Sheedy on the end of it. And they get goal number 5. 5 goals to 1 so far, and it just ticked into 17.5.
Wow. Hasn't this been a turnaround? The first 10 minutes of this quarter, we thought the Eagles really getting on top. Sturt under the pump, but now the roles have reversed. Sturt are flying at the moment. The Eagles have to do something about it. I think the change has to come in the ruck here. O'Hara, Feast has been getting over him, getting first hands on the ball. I think O'Hara might have to go forward. Get Lindsay back on the ball. Sorry, Neil.
Game's just opened up, hasn't it? And that's advantage the double blues with their hands. They've been very good. Again, out of the middle. Sheedy gets it down to Richardson. Punch came from Williams. Ball to ground again. No, didn't get that far. Well done by Mattner. Good vision. Out towards Smith. Tried to break a tackle. Hand pass was loose. Came to Merriman. Merriman wide for Stokes. Leading in the chase for the ball. Beveridge is hunting him. Passador peels off. The hand pass over the top. Mark Passador just gets away from the tackler and gets the kick inside 50. Sturt with the advantage. Well done by Bowen. Hand pass quickly. Released. Monfries and now Feast. Feast can look inside 50. Goes short. His aim was off. Well and truly. And Potter intercepting in front of Burton. I think he was aiming for Smith, who'd run from the half-back line. As O'Hara comes off the ground. Sickelela immediately plays on. Lindsay is wide. Can hand pass over the top or at least kick towards Ellis. Loping after Ellis is Feast. Lindsay in turn. Steps inside, drives it long, 2-on-1. The Eagles bring it to the front. That'll be in the back. No, it won't. It'll be play on and too high to Stokes. He got in over the ball. And Beveridge got in too high. And actually, I thought for a second he was going to give away 25 as well for his complaint.
You hear the umpire saying you don't have to get him high. Well, it's not quite that easy sometimes. And the player's diving the football. He almost slipped under him. And it was just an accidental arm on the side of the head, but really not a lot in it. But very, very important that he goes back and nails this one for the Eagles.
Reverse angle, looking up at the Bradman stand. Matthew Stokes kicked the goal at the 5-minute mark, kicked the goal at the 19-minute mark, and in between Sturt had kicked 5 in a row. So arresting the slide for the Eagles, Matthew Stokes puts one through.
A couple of important changes going on at the same time. You see there, the right arm just unluckily over that shoulder there. I mean, he's dived under him. The umpire said, you don't have to take him high. Well, he wasn't really trying to take him high. He almost rolled into him. So, look, it's unfortunate, but well finished. That's what the Eagles needed. They needed one just to steady them. They got the change in the centre, like I said before. Important there, you see Lindsay getting his hands on the footy.
Back in the centre, Passador. Ball just flicked out the back to McKenzie. McKenzie's spear looking for Rugolo. Over the back. Just about went to Ellis. Well done by Roberts, who got the kick away. Beveridge crashes through. Treby, sensational play, held it up. And the Eagles counter-attack.
Let it go. Come on,
another important change before to the Eagles, sorry, with Bock going back on centre forward, and they've actually taken Sammy Filippo off onto the bench. So trying to throw that forward line, even though it's only gone down there about twice in the last 10 minutes.
No one can break clear. And commitment is what's required. There's Mark Mattner. Cooper. All knocked out, free kick, holding on, will go to Bowen. And Paul Lindsay racks another free kick to add to the list. Beveridge has run off. There's ruck contests. Worry about those 3 kicks. Matt Nutt, who's played his heart out for the Double Blues. In short, Monfries, front of Westbrook, a couple of young guns there. Angus Monfries, terrific young player, introduced smartly into league footy this year by Brenton Phillips. At the back, Chambers, 1 grab, 2, can't take the mark. Ball held in. And another bounce. 22 minutes gone, second term. Grant Chambers. Plenty to say. Peter Fiacci in the bottom of that lot.
I think the Eagles have missed Luke Toyer's real aggression at football, that bit of niggle that he's thrown underneath the pack, and not having that since the second minute mark of the first quarter. I think the Eagles have really felt the difference with not having Luke Toyer and his aggression.
So we have another pause in play. Tim Weatherall been ordered off, or has he? No, he hasn't, but he's got blood problems. Bowen brilliantly down to Monfries. Great hand pass to Weatherall. Drives it up in front of goal. Another opportunity for the Double Blues. Punch to the front. Cicolella was over it through the legs of Mackenzie, and finally we'll get another ball up. Brilliant breakaway then by Sturt from the stoppage. Both sides with powerful midfields. They pride themselves on taking the ball away from stoppages. Why wouldn't you, if you were the Eagles, with big Paul Lindsay? So here's Bowen, number 12, opposed to big Lindsay, who swats at the ball and misses it. Cicolella just belts it forward. Whiteman takes ball and man. The man in that case was Mackenzie, number 57 for the Eagles, getting up. 18 points the margin. 23 minutes. Second term of the qualifying final. Sturt's opened up the path to goal here. And Colville intercepts, just got a hand pass out to Mackenzie in tight, just belted it forward. Whiteman was quite brilliant again. Up in front of goal, a mark unopposed to Oliver. Well, Coles just completely lost his man, and I did notice in the background Pedler was going to set off, and Chambers just stopped that from happening, which allowed Oliver to take the chest mark. Let's have another look. Great work from Whiteman.
Yeah, look, Grant Chambers did well there. He actually held his man off. Didn't, like you said, he didn't let him go out there. He slipped that one under the umpire's guard. It's a great reverse view right behind his goal attempts.
Come on, guys, keep it cool.
Camera there on the other side of the ground. And that was one of the most awful kicks you'll ever see off the boot of Chris Oliver, or indeed anybody. Minor score for the Double Blues. They had a chance, but the margin now 19 points.
Really let the Eagles off the hook there, especially Bradley Coles. He's had a couple of goals kicked on him early by Passador, and
here's Weatherall. Ships it in short. Squire, that's a clever mark. Can he get through? He normally can. Handball, just fired off. Potter clears the area for the Eagles. Oh, umpire blew his whistle a bit early, and now he pays a free kick for a push. Buck looks forward. Well done by Bowen, away from Stokes. Beveridge caught up. Stokes back in again. Well, you just get the feeling that Double Blues have got a sniff here. They want this quarter to go as long as they can. There's a little bit of rain on its way. Sprinkling around the Adelaide Oval. We've had a couple of showers, not too bad. Fiacci jammed it on the boot. Passador just ran straight past it. Foot race. Ellis paddles in front of himself. Smith did all right. Neil Craig would be happy with that, sitting out of the bleachers. Matthew Smith.
just unlike we saw in the first quarter, the Eagles were delivering the ball so well. I mean, it was fast deliverance. It was delivering out in front of their players. The likes of Passador, the Philippines, they could run onto the ball, take a good grab, have a shot at goal. Whereas this quarter, you just haven't seen it. It's only gone forward 5 or 6 times, and really Sturt are dominating on especially the stoppages.
Well, I don't mind playing here at the Adelaide Oval. Cooper off the ground. Fiacci, good use of the body, kick smothered. Cooper's everywhere. Handball over the top. Bowen couldn't take it with him. Here's Colville taking the ground. And somebody just driving the knee of Matthew Cooper there. He's not too happy about it.
Might get the free for that, I think.
He is too. Advantage rule paid. Well, and up goes Oliver. Can't take the mark. Coles runs it out of bounds. 26.5 minutes gone. 19 points the difference. Sturt in favour. Plenty of aggro in this game. Vinnie Rugolo just might have scrapped.
Well, the Eagles need to do something, and I think that might be the way to do it. Ruffle a few feathers, see if they can stop this, stop this run that Sturt have got at the moment.
Merriman snaffles at the back, just drives up Whiteman. How important is he to Sturt, the hard man? Fractured skull, sore shoulder, doesn't stop him. In he goes. Cooper, left footer, will swing around on the left foot. Swings past Colville, drives it wide. Sturt with the numbers out here. They know their man. Monfries, well done. Inside he goes with a hand pass to Beveridge. He'll go long. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Eventually, off the outside of the boot. Wasn't meant that way, but it got to Oliver. Oliver, we know, had a shot on goal, was awful. That time, didn't want to kick the ball, instead dropped it. Free kick to the Eagles. Well read by Richard Williams, the umpire, because he let it go. It really did advantage the Eagles immediately.
Going to bring it back. Good decision.
Didn't work out that way in the end. Good umpiring. Might upset a few people in the crowd, but he did read that well. It was in the open and the Eagles were away, and when it didn't happen, back came the free kick. McKenzie in the middle of the ground.
Rangers coming down a little bit heavier too down there. I think Soda's diving for the umbrella.
McKenzie, the double take. To this side of the ground he comes. Ball to the front of the pack. Colville, front and centre. Dogged by Cooper. Got the hand pass away to Bock. Long and high. Rugolo outnumbered. Well done by Bowen at the back on his natural left foot. Just chips it up forward. And there was a free kick anyway to Sturt down the ground for a push. It might have been for Curtis getting pushed. I don't know for sure. But Weatherall takes the free kick. Drives down to half forward. Big grab by Sikalila. Got a ride on the back of the broad back of Chambers. Sikalila holds the ball up. Never know, the weather might actually help the Eagles. Double Blues trying to throw the ball around in close. Solid hip and shoulder by Stokes. Ball to ground. Still they fall over it. Soda's comfortable down there.
I think that's Andrew Rogers under the umbrella now.
Yes, that should be under the umbrella. Just an official word on Luke Toya, boys. It's a migraine. We'll not see him for the rest of the day.
Well, you'd think that's a migraine for Ron Fuller. Having Luke Toya off the ground, it's half-time at the Adelaide Oval. And in the qualifying final, the Double Blues have kicked 8-4-52 to lead the Eagles 5-3-33. Ben, just a look quickly through those stats.
We'd expect that Sturt would have a fair few more inside 50s than the Eagles that quarter. And you see there, well, it's not as far up as we thought. Well, 24-20, but certainly in terms of the possessions, Sturt still up well on the Eagles there.
Half-time, Double Blues have the advantage at the Adelaide Oval.